Hey folks, it's your old pal King Waspinator, and welcome back to Total Party Skills. On today's episode of Total Party Skills, we're going to be looking at the books that the fans have voted for as the best books that Total Party Skills put out last year for the Total Party system. Take it away.
Impactful, best-selling, fully monetized, exploitation, unprofessional attitude, unnecessarily hostile, bad ideas, poorly researched, rush production, smokes too much weed, wasting your time, ripping you off, an egomaniacal half-retard, half-crazy person. You have been tricked into watching another video by Total Party Skills. You have been tricked into watching another video by Total Party Skills. It's too late now. You already clicked on the video. You gave me your energy. Since you've come this far, you might as well hit subscribe to Total Party Skills. You'll never know if I'm serious or full of shit until you buy a book by Total Party Skills. Caveat emptor. Poor money management skills. A fly-by-night one-man operation. Total Party Skills.
some city issues. Now, this is not going to be the normal vibe for source books for G-Class Republic, but I just kind of want to put out a little sampler that was summer themed since this book is premiering here in the summer of 2024. So what this does is gives you a dozen planets from different areas of the setting. Features at least one NPC per planet of some of the characters can meet, maybe work with or gain an adventure from, or have to work against because they're antagonists. And adventure scenarios for each planet. In many ways, are there to kind of serve as examples of the variety of different kinds of adventures that you can have in the G-Class setting. So here we go. G-Class Republic swimsuit issues. We start off, just a real quick introduction. We discuss the planet of Arcade. We've got a smuggler for the network known as the Knights, and the opening mission is basically a little heist to sneak onto a orbiting planet and steal some information. Second rolled up is Beachhead. Some conflicts with ogre refugees fleeing warm space. Helps introduce some of the greater meta plots of the setting. We move on to Zadfar. We got a vampire story here with this Palna. Basically, she's being hunted by her old gang of vampire hunters who found out that she herself is a vampire because she's a seraphim, and the player characters are basically just some mercenaries who got to protect her during the midst of a plumbing condition. She's being held at a hotel that she runs off the planet Zadfar. Jazric, we got a murder mystery where characters have to hunt down a android maid to find out who the killers really are. So, we'll run around the city fighting some mob hitmen, that kind of stuff going on. Fury is a mech scenario where a giant mech is destroying the city. The player characters have to help a mech warrior get to the spaceport so that you can get into her mech and try to fight back against it. Lots of random encounters, just trying to get past the area of the city where the mech is currently rampaging. And then potentially a big battle that could end really badly if they don't thread the needle correctly. Then we go to the planet Narma, where we get some political issues going on with an ambassador from the church. This adventure is designed for basically like a lot of random exploration of the city and random encounters looking for jobs, and then as they go about kind of just figuring out what they want to do with themselves, they'll slowly pick up on this supernatural mystery that's been going on in the background that relates to the ambassador from the church, Denu Icarus. Help out a reporter from G-Class Reporting Services named Janet Brick. On Olympia, you can help out Professor Mubi Hubaba. Rescue some pirates from a sunken submarine who are being harassed by a large kaiju sea turtle. On the planet of Apocalypse Flower, you can uncover a conspiracy to steal some ancient technology out from under the nose of the criminal organization known as the Family, so you can have some crime on crime kind of adventuring going on here. On Big Island, player characters can help take an unexpected ambassador from the older folk around toward the island, which would be, it's in the player's hands to influence how the older folk will react in the G-Class Republic. Typhoon Sky. This scenario is good as a campaign opener for a longer, ongoing campaign about a struggle for control of Typhoon Sky as a secret space form invasion begins, which is included by some red herrings about a string of petty street crimes that are being blamed on the ogre refugees. In reality, it's actually space forms that were smuggled there by accident. New Irvia, player characters have cut down a musician who's late to get on board her ship after her handlers all quit, and they track her down to a vampire bar controlled by Akuma, which are IBO vampires, and they gotta negotiate their way through that to be able to get the young Scarlet on her ship so she can go on tour. On JVC, player characters accidentally stumble across one world controlled by the church, where once again you have a chance for player characters to heavily influence how the setting will develop going forward in the campaign by how they interact with the bees that are on JVC, which the mystics have always been paranoid about bees finding out about how other humans live, and also how the G-Class might react to the kind of society of kind of forced labor, pseudo-slavery that the bees live under. And then we just got a section laying out just some basic stats for minor NPCs that player characters might encounter in the course of these adventures, so that you as a game master don't necessarily have to make every last little NPC individually. You can put out some basic stats just for some minor henchmen or whatnot. But you're of course encouraged to design your own specific NPCs. You gotta make your villain here, Royal Marshal Panzerolon from the Older Vulcan. And that's it. Swimsuit issues. You can get a copy on Amazon.com or Drive for RPG. Genesis of Revenge of the Lesbian Illuminati comes from two of my oldest source books, Secrets of the Lesbian Illuminati and The Young and the Restless Dead, which were both source books for my prototype horror role-playing game Ghost of the Shadow Zone. So I mushed them together, dragged them back in time from the 1970s to place them in 1955 so that they're contemporary with Girls Gone Vampire, and boom, we have Revenge of the Lesbian Illuminati. Unlike the New York-based Girls Gone Vampire, Revenge of the Lesbian Illuminati is set in Los Angeles in 1955. And from the options available in character creation all the way up through the overall premise of the game, it's pretty political. It pokes its finger at a lot of things that are going on in, modern-day broader cultural politics. It also has quite a few things to say about the era of time in which it's set, the 1950s. And there's aspects of the game that directly address some of the things that have been strangely controversial in role-playing games as of late. So the basic idea here is you have characters that are sophomores in college, female students at the University of California, Noir, Angeles. Characters start off as initiates who are being introduced into a cult of witchcraft known as the Lesbos Witches, jokingly referred to as the Lesbian Illuminati by outsiders who don't really understand what the hell's going on. It started as a joke, but as time goes on, and the Lesbos Witches further embrace the title of Lesbian Illuminati, it will start having an effect on some of their recruiting practices, shall we say. But in truth, the reason why they're called lesbian has nothing to do with
Sapphic adult activities in the night.
although that's certainly a possibility. But it's more from the fact that the Lesbos witches trace, the origins of their tradition to the Isle of Lesbos in the Aegean Sea. They're Greek witches with a heavy emphasis on education, and they've spent centuries embedding themselves in major universities around the Western world so that they can try to influence upcoming generations of people to make the world more fair and safe for women. Now, the game has a built-in game loop that will last for quite some time. At first, it'll help give, the game structure and an immediate agenda for player characters to have to accomplish, because they're going to be expected to have to go to the classes and, get their degree. They're an education-based witch cult, so, they don't want their initiates to blow off all their actual, practical learning and screw up getting their degree just to learn some witchcraft. Instead, they're expected to have to juggle both. And during, their sophomore year, as they're, getting their legs under them, they'll be expected to be introduced to some little minor supernatural type of adventures around the college campus. Introductory things, meeting some of the other supernatural creatures that like to look around universities, and also dealing with ghosts. But as time goes on, this structure of the built-in game loop of trying to juggle, learning how to be a witch with just doing their normal mundane schoolwork, it'll start to become an obstacle. As they become further involved in extracurricular activities, having to make sure that they make it to class every day starts to become a bit of a problem for them if they're trying to solve some sort of supernatural mystery. But in the end, what will end up happening is at some point, the game will make a hard pivot and become something about Hollywood. And it has quite a few things to say on the subject of, Hollywood and how I feel about the rich and famous. There are other supernatural factions already in Los Angeles who've been manipulating the movie industry to push their own sorts of messaging. And the Lesbos Witches want their own slice of the action now. And so the basic gist is, as the characters go through their college stuff, they will start to be drawn into some of the other supernatural plots that revolve around the Hollywood studio system. Perhaps, being dragged in for an audition, take a little seat on the casting couch, try to get a role. It's a good device, especially for player characters, because they're playing young ladies in college, and Hollywood loves to exploit the young and beautiful. They kind of will have an in, get themselves involved, go up against the vampires of the California Dream Cult, or the Dead Actors Guild, and the Department of Lesbian Affairs. It uses the total party system, but the more modernized version of the total party system I've been putting on my more recent releases. It uses the powers-based mysticism for magic, as opposed to the more spell-based occult version of magic I have in some of my older games. This, I believe, will help serve to establish a tonal difference with Girls Gone Vampire in terms of how the magic works and how the characters feel. They will be a little bit more super heroic. It's never spelled out in the book, but I guess you could say that the long-term goal of any campaign of Revenge of the Lesbian Illuminati is for the player characters to get themselves to a point where they can either star in or help create their own in-game off-brand version of Bewitched, and use film and television to rehabilitate the public image of the witch as not something ugly and sinister, but as something beautiful and alluring. And that's basically it. Taking some of the most currently hated concepts in role-playing games that the internet loves to try to pick apart and say are terrible, such as games set in college, or games featuring lesbian characters. Try to immediately make it compelling by setting it in the 1950s, where LGBT activism was, shall we say, highly frowned upon, and therefore actually making it kind of risky for the characters to put themselves out in that way. No one's giving you an award back then for coming out of the closet. Quite the opposite. In the style of my other, what I call lesbian noir games, it mixes the paranoia around sexuality and infidelity with the paranoia of the 1950s over occult influences and communism. There are options for male players who absolutely refuse to play a female character, but for some weird reason still would like to play by allowing either Minotaurs or Rakshasa to be available as optional player characters. But an entire group comprised of those character types wouldn't really be a Revenge of the Lesbian Illuminati game anymore, now would it? You might as well just go play Girls Gone Vampire, where there's more variety in exactly how you want to structure your campaign and involve what kind of supernaturals and mortal cults. Revenge of the Lesbian Illuminati is a pretty high concept in the end, and beyond the fact that there's things about it that will annoy people on all ends of the spectrum, one way or the other, and the fact that you will be hard-pressed to find players that actually want to sit down and play this thing, I still think I've pulled off taking one of those hated concepts and making it functional, fun, quirky, and has something to say. That's not exactly what you might think it's trying to say at first. It's up for you to decide. Also, I quite intentionally put barely any art at all in it. You actually have to read and visualize shit in this one, motherfucker. And the font I chose is designed to specifically invoke the idea that you're looking through some girl's handwritten diary. And so that's it. Check out Revenge of the Lesbian Illuminati, the role-playing game. You can get a print copy on Amazon.com. You can get a PDF on DriveThruRPG. If you're seeing this before Halloween, the PDF might still be on sale. But if it's after Halloween, it'll probably have gone back to its normal PDF sales price. So check out links below. Be sure to complain about it on the internet. Tell people what you didn't like about it. That's really the market here. This is a hate view. It's the Velma of role-playing games, potentially. It's irredeemable. Lesbian sex in college in the 1950s and witchcraft? My God, what does America come to? But, as I keep saying in the ads, when it comes to Revenge of the Lesbian Illuminati, you'll never know if you like it until you try it. Until next time, stay waspinated.
Thanks for watching our episode about the best books that Total Party Skills put out in the year 2024 for the Total Party system. Be sure to hit like and subscribe for more content like this. and check out links below for various titles that you've seen talked about in this video. Until next time.
Everybody dance now. Everybody dance.
I am going to make you sweat, baby. Let the music take control. Let the rhythm move you. Sweat.
Sweat.
Let the music take control. Let the rhythm move you. Do 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 do. Do Come on, let's sweat. Baby, let the rhythm take control. Let the rhythm move you. Sweat.
Sweat.
Let the music take control. Let the rhythm move you. Let's do it right. Move me all night. The music is my life. Everybody dance now. Everybody dance now. Everybody dance now. Everybody, I'm going to make you sweat, baby. Let the music take control. Let the rhythm move you. Sweat, sweat. Let the music take control. Let the rhythm move you. Do 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 do. Do do
Stay waspinated.